In a land shaped by ancient dynasties, mountain kingdoms, and cities older than many civilizations, China is now building one of the most futuristic landscapes on Earth. Across the country, record-breaking bridges, giant airports, high-speed railways, automated ports, hydropower stations, and towers rising above the clouds are transforming the way people move, live, and connect. From desert solar fields and offshore wind farms to space stations, glass bridges, magnetic trains, and buildings that look like visions from another century, everything seems to be moving at an astonishing speed. These are not just engineering projects, but symbols of a future where technology, architecture, transportation, and ambition are reshaping entire cities and landscapes. Today, we explore China's most futuristic wonders, where ideas once imagined only in science fiction are rapidly becoming part of everyday reality. Dunhuang Molten Salt Solar Plant. Looking like a space station landing in the arid desert, this superpower plant is a great real-life science fiction masterpiece. Every dawn, a sparkling ocean appears as 12,000 giant mirrors move rhythmically in unison to catch the first rays of sunlight. Covering an area of 346 acres, this mirror network weaves together to form a giant silver sunflower glowing against the sand. Reigning in the centre is an 853-foot-tall tower, acting as a blindingly bright second sun when gathering tens of thousands of light beams. The invisible heat in the air surrounding the top of the tower is so extreme that it instantly burns up any bird that accidentally flies by. This dune-like scenery carries a strong message. Humanity can completely use the power of nature to generate electricity continuously day and night. Jiaozhou Bay Bridge has a deck wide enough for 6 traffic lanes, with a speed limit of 50 miles per hour, accommodating increasing cargo and passenger flows. Beyond being a vital transport link, it stands as an architectural landmark with sweeping views over the expansive bay and dynamic seascapes. Built from reinforced concrete capable of withstanding strong winds and harsh ocean waves, its total length reaches about 26 miles, with a 16-mile main section across open water. Connects Qingdao City with the Huangdao area, cutting travel by over 19 miles compared to the traditional route around the bay. The piers are engineered to resist major earthquakes and saltwater corrosion while minimising impact on the marine environment. After more than 4 years of construction using millions of cubic yards of concrete and hundreds of thousands of tonnes of steel, the bridge became a testament to advanced infrastructure engineering. Jiaozhou Bay Bridge strengthens links between strategic economic zones, boosting trade, tourism and urban growth throughout the coastal region. Canton Tower. Completed in 2010, functions not only as an observation site but also as a multifunctional hub that integrates dining, entertainment and broadcasting. From its observation deck at over 1,476 feet, accessible in less than 1 minute via high-speed elevators, visitors gain a rapid and futuristic ascent. Standing at 604 metres, or approximately 1,982 feet, the tower's twisting design minimises wind pressure while creating a distinctive profile visible from all directions. Known worldwide for Sky Drop, the highest freefall ride set at nearly 1,640 feet, the tower combines extreme thrill with panoramic views of the cityscape. At night, a network of LED systems illuminates the entire structure, transforming it into a massive light display that reshapes Guangzhou's skyline. From above, sweeping views of rivers, straight avenues and radiant night lights confirm its role as one of the world's premier urban viewing platforms. Gansu Wind Farm, China. Stretching like a steel army across the Gobi Desert, Gansu Wind Farm turns dry land into a giant field of clean energy. Between ancient yellow sand and bright white turbines, the scene creates a powerful contrast, especially at sunset when long steel shadows stretch across the ground. Each tower rises like a 30-storey building, with blades over 164 feet long spinning in the sky like giant steel flowers. Known as the Great Wall of Wind, this megaproject has a capacity of about 20,000 megawatts, enough to power an entire nation. Beyond making electricity, the project also faces the challenge of long-distance transmission, because this huge energy source stands in a desert far from major cities. From land that once seemed dead, it has become a goldmine of clean energy and a symbol of the push into a new energy era. Ruyi Bridge, China. Ruyi Bridge stands out for its 3 interwoven lanes inspired by the traditional Ruyi scepter, creating a rare and complex form in modern pedestrian bridge design. When wind funnels through the narrow gorge, the cable system and deck can move slightly, and people standing on the transparent glass feel the motion clearly. At the intersection of its branches, the lowest level is paved entirely with reinforced transparent glass, offering a direct view into a drop of several hundred feet below. From a distance, the sweeping steel lines resemble a giant DNA strand or a ribbon floating above the valley, giving the structure a detached appearance from the ground. Under humid fog or after rainfall, the glass surface becomes slippery, requiring slow and careful steps to maintain balance. Xiaolangdi Dam. Costing about $5 billion US, Xiaolangdi Dam is not just a hydropower dam, but a giant machine built across the Yellow River to hold back a river feared for floods and heavy sediment. To control that force, engineers hollowed out the mountainside and carved a web of underground release tunnels, turning the project into an extremely complex hidden system below the surface. Over the last 2,000 years, the Yellow River has broken its banks about 1,500 times and changed course 26 times, taking millions of lives. So this dam feels like the hardest answer yet. To a long and bloody history. Every year, the river carries about 1.8 billion tonnes of silt, enough to build a road about 3 feet high and 3 feet wide around the Earth 27 times. Because of that, Xiaolangdi uses artificial flood releases to wash out an average of about 33 million tonnes of mud from the reservoir each year, sending it toward the sea and keeping the lower river from choking. When the floodgates burst open, dozens of thick yellow columns of water shoot into the air and rush forward like dragons roaring as they tear across the sky. Rudong Offshore Wind Farm. In the open sea, Rudong Offshore Wind Farm looks like a giant forest of machines turning without rest to pull endless energy from the wind. The huge flow of power is then sent all the way back to land through an armoured undersea cable about 62 miles long, lying on the seabed like a giant vein. The most unusual part is that this was the first offshore direct current project of its kind in China, with a converter station weighing about 22,000 tonnes and standing as tall as a 15-storey building in the middle of the sea, like a base from the future. Around it, hundreds of white turbines stretch to the horizon, each one rising hundreds of feet above the water, with blades sweeping more than 550 feet across, making people feel tiny beside them. To keep the whole system standing firm, engineers had to drive steel piles about 23 feet wide and nearly 328 feet long deep into the seabed. At full power, this giant project can supply about 1,360,000 homes, while also cutting the need for about 550,000 tonnes of coal and reducing about 1,460,000 tonnes of emissions each year. Tiangong Space Station. Orbiting Earth like a palace in the sky, Tiangong is not only a space laboratory, but also the only space station today operated by a single country. Through the window, astronauts can see auroras dancing below their feet, while Earth curves like a fragile blue crystal in the darkness. Moving about 280 miles above Earth at nearly 17,400 miles per hour, the station circles the planet in only 90 minutes and creates 16 sunrises each day. Outside, its giant solar panels keep turning toward the light, shining like silver ribbons in the blackness of space. Its robotic arm is about 33 feet long and can lift 20-ton parts as gently as picking up a leaf with amazing precision. The station's layered shell works like armour, protecting people from fierce radiation and tiny space debris flying past at deadly speed. Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. Stretching like a white dragon gliding on the waves, this giant sea crossing route is the most ambitious construction marvel of modern times. Dotted along the route are two beautiful artificial islands, shaped like eternal ocean liners quietly anchored. Looking high up, the artistic cable towers rise into the blue sky to simulate a pod of dancing dolphins and wind-filled sails. To survive in the brutally corrosive ocean environment, the project had to use 440,925 short tons of steel, enough mass to cast 60 Eiffel Towers. The most heart-stopping experience is when the highway speeding on the water suddenly plunges into the seabed, leading straight into a mysterious underwater tunnel over 4 miles long. Going far beyond all traffic limits, this super project is a statement of humanity's power to conquer nature, connecting distant lands. Shanghai Tower. Looking like a legendary glass creature, twisting and shooting straight into the clouds, this superstructure is the peak of future architecture. When night falls, all 128 floors instantly transform into a giant multicoloured pillar of light, illuminating a vast space. Hidden inside the core is an aerodynamic elevator system that can shoot visitors to the top at a wind-tearing speed reaching 46 miles per hour. To fight against hurricanes, a 1,102 short-ton magnetic weight is suspended high up, shaped like a magical mechanical eye. The hollow but double-ear glass skin system wraps the building like a great insulating jacket, cutting down millions of kilowatts of cooling electricity annually. Going far beyond a lifeless skyscraper, this spectacular machine is actually a highly vibrant vertical city that produces its own energy. Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge was completed in 2010 after 4 years of construction, with thousands of engineers and workers contributing to its realisation. Its structure, made mainly of reinforced concrete, is engineered to endure earthquakes up to magnitude 8 and strong winds, ensuring operational safety for decades. Spanning approximately 102 miles, it is the longest bridge in the world and serves as a key link in the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway, efficiently connecting major economic hubs. Today, it is celebrated globally as a symbol of advanced infrastructure and engineering excellence. Chengdu Tianfu International Airport covers more than 10.8 million square feet in its main terminal, designed in the form of the ancient golden sunbird of Sichuan, merging modern materials with technology to maximise natural light and energy efficiency. The airport is linked to a network of high-speed rail and expressways, enabling passengers to reach major cities within and beyond the region quickly. Opened in 2021, it operates 3 runways of about 13,123 feet each, meeting the requirements for the largest wide-body aircraft in the world and supporting over 60 million passengers annually. More than a transportation hub, Chengdu Tianfu International Airport is a symbol of China's long-term vision, connecting the nation's economy and culture to the global stage. Hangzhou Bay Bridge. Like a concrete dragon curving across the sea, Hangzhou Bay Bridge stretches about 22 miles and was once the longest sea-crossing bridge in the world when it was completed. In the middle of the bridge sits an artificial island of about 108,000 square feet where people can stop and watch the road stretch toward both horizons. Below it lies a soft mud layer about 164 feet deep, so engineers had to drive steel piles about 262 feet down into hard rock to stop the bridge from sinking. Along the roadway, the railings change colour in different sections, helping drivers sense distance and turning the bridge into a rainbow strip over the sea. The structure also has to stand against violent tides, where walls of water about 23 to 26 feet high can crash into the bridge supports with terrifying force. When night falls, the whole bridge glows like a dragon of light curving through the darkness of the bay. Beijing Daxing International Airport covers a total area of about 7 million square feet and is designed to handle up to 72 million passengers annually. Its massive steel and glass dome structure maximises natural light, cutting energy consumption significantly. Opened in 2019, the airport features an iconic starfish-inspired design that combines aesthetics with functionality. Four runways, each over 12,467 feet long, enable simultaneous operations of multiple large aircraft. The passenger flow system is optimised, so it takes about 8 minutes to walk from the security checkpoint to the farthest gate. Its seamless connections to high-speed rail, metro, and expressways position it as a major strategic aviation hub for the region. Byheton Hydropower Station features a concrete arch dam about 289 metres high, equivalent to a 95-storey building, with a base width of over 72 metres, built to withstand immense water pressure. The reservoir, holding more than 20 billion cubic metres of water, forms a vast expanse that not only regulates floods, but also maintains a stable water supply for downstream regions. From the air, the entire complex resembles a colossal machine seamlessly integrated into the mountains, merging with the natural scenery while showcasing human mastery and water utilisation. As one of the largest hydropower projects in the world, it plays a crucial role in China's electricity grid and energy security. Byheton also stands as a testament to advanced engineering, with its network of tunnels and spillways designed for safe operation under even the harshest weather conditions. The integration of monumental scale with cutting-edge technology has made it a symbol in global hydropower, helping cut greenhouse gas emissions by replacing fossil fuel energy. Shijiang Tunnel spans approximately 6 miles and was built using advanced immersed tube technology capable of withstanding high water pressure and heavy traffic flow. A real-time monitoring system operates along the entire length, ensuring immediate control of air quality, vehicle speed, and emergency situations. Plays a crucial role in easing congestion on regional river crossing bridges, stabilising both freight and passenger transport routes. It is both an impressive feat of engineering and proof of the region's ability to construct large-scale infrastructure to support rapid economic development and urbanisation. Sutong Yangtze River Bridge features towers rising 306 metres, equivalent to a skyscraper of over 100 floors, built from high-strength concrete and steel to support its vast cable system. Spanning the Yangtze River, it serves as a crucial artery in eastern China's transportation network, stretching approximately 8,200 metres with a main span of 1,088 metres. When completed in 2008, it held the world record for the longest cable-stayed span, a testament to its advanced engineering. The deck measures 33 metres wide with 6 lanes, enabling over 100,000 vehicles to cross each day, significantly cutting travel time between major economic zones. From its expanse, travellers enjoy panoramic views of the Yangtze River below, where massive cargo ships move steadily through the water. Because Siduhi Bridge has a total length of about 1,222 metres, with a main span of 900 metres allowing vehicles to cross the immense valley gap in just seconds. Completed in 2009, it serves as a crucial link on the expressway between Shanghai and Chongqing, cutting travel time dramatically through mountainous terrain. The bridge's maintenance system features modern inspection technology for continuous monitoring and quick detection of potential issues. Its design blends strong steel structures with a precisely engineered suspension cable system to endure high winds and seismic activity. Siduhi Bridge is one of the tallest suspension bridges in the world, standing about 496 metres from the deck to the riverbed. From above, the bridge offers sweeping views of mountain ranges, vertical cliffs, and the winding river deep below. It stands as both a feat of engineering and a testament to humanity's ability to overcome extreme landscapes with innovation and skill. Longjung Bridge offers panoramic views of the valley and surrounding mountain ranges, creating a striking visual experience where modern infrastructure meets dramatic natural landscapes. Inaugurated in 2016, it spans a deep valley and plays a vital role in connecting the transportation network of northwestern Yunnan province. The bridge's twin suspension cable system with high-strength steel main cables provides exceptional stability against the area's frequent strong winds. It supports two-way high-speed traffic on wide lanes, cutting national highway travel times from hours down to minutes. Ultimately, it stands as proof of advanced engineering's ability to master challenging terrain while fueling regional economic growth. Bird's Nest. This is the largest steel structure on Earth, built from about 42,000 tonnes of steel, twisted into a giant skeleton that can hold itself up without any central columns. Even when it holds nearly 100,000 people, the stadium can still feel open because natural wind moves through the steel shell and pushes heat away. To place every huge steel member correctly, Workers needed more than 10,000 detailed three-dimensional drawings because even a small mistake could throw the whole structure out of balance. The strangest part is that the building does not hide its support system, but shows the whole steel web on the outside, turning its cold skeleton into its most famous beauty. It took 5 years to build and cost about 428 million US dollars, becoming not only a sports venue, but also a steel statement from a rising era. When night falls, red or golden light shines out from inside through the cold grey steel, making the whole building glow like a giant lantern burning in the city. Tianjin CTF Finance Center rises to about 1,740 feet or 530 metres, making it the tallest building in Tianjin and one of the tallest worldwide. Completed in 2019, it quickly established itself as a symbol of China's modern economic progress and global aspirations. Inside, the building offers a multifunctional complex that includes Grade A offices, luxury hotels, and modern residences designed to serve the needs of an expanding urban population. The tower contains 97 floors and employs advanced damping systems and structural technology to ensure resistance against seismic activity and environmental challenges. On the exterior, energy-efficient glass panels reflect natural light while improving insulation, creating an elegant yet functional facade. More than an engineering feat, Tianjin CTF Finance Center stands as a landmark that blends innovation, economy, and architecture into a single statement of ambition. Shenzhen Ping An Finance Center is not just a financial hub, but also an engineering masterpiece, demonstrating the fusion of technology, design, and urban vision in the 21st century. Its design is optimized to withstand strong winds and earthquakes, with a reinforced steel and concrete frame that minimizes vibrations even at the highest floors. The tower's exterior is clad in large reflective glass panels, not only improving energy efficiency, but also creating a striking visual effect by mirroring the surrounding sky and light. With a height of about 1,965 feet, it holds the position of the second tallest building in China and the fourth tallest globally, completed in 2017 after 7 years of construction. The project also incorporates advanced engineering systems to optimize energy use and reduce emissions, reflecting the sustainability trend in modern infrastructure. Shenzhen Ping and Finance Center is one of the most remarkable skyscrapers in the world, a clear symbol of China's modern economic strength and rapid development. Donghai Bridge has a deck 102 feet wide, allowing multiple lanes of vehicles to travel at the same time, supporting the heavy transport flow between the seaport and the mainland. Its structure is made of high-strength steel and special salt-resistant concrete, built to last in the harsh marine conditions of the East China Sea. From the bridge, travellers can see the sea stretching endlessly to the horizon, with streams of vehicles moving like a living connection between land and open waters. The piers are anchored deep into the seabed at carefully calculated depths to withstand earthquakes and strong marine currents. Spanning about 20 miles, Donghai Bridge is engineered to endure the region's powerful winds and waves while ensuring year-round traffic stability. Donghai Bridge stands among the longest cross-sea bridges in the world, connecting the mainland with an offshore island to create a critical route for cargo movement and economic growth. Changtai Yangtze River Bridge has a dual-level structure optimised for efficiency. The upper deck is an expressway supporting speeds of up to 62 miles per hour, while the lower deck is a mixed railway line handling both high-speed and freight trains. Its total length is about 6 miles, featuring a cable-stayed design with a main span of nearly 0.6 miles, which allows large cargo ships to pass unobstructed beneath. Once completed, Changtai Yangtze River Bridge will not only be a vital transportation link, but also a landmark of modern engineering, showcasing China's advanced bridge building capabilities. The main tower stands approximately 1,150 feet tall, constructed from special steel and reinforced concrete to endure high winds and heavy loads. Deep foundations anchored into the riverbed provide stability against shifting currents and challenging hydrological conditions. The project is expected to cut travel times, enhance cargo and passenger transport capacity, and stimulate economic development across the region. Hangzhou Century Centre, China. Like a gate to tomorrow, two towers rising about 1,017 feet meet to form a giant letter H and reflect on the water. When night falls, more than 6,000 LEDs hidden in the glass light up along the curves, making the whole complex glow like a space gate. At the point where the towers meet, a public bridge curves like a moon gate, linking the structure while opening wide views and a pedestrian path. Around the outside is a soft glass skin like a veil, wrapping the form and making the building look like water lifted into the sky. These flowing curves are not only beautiful, but were also shaped to reduce heat gain and keep the inside more comfortable. This building is not only an architectural symbol, but also feels like a sign that the whole city is opening a large door to the world. Beijing Shanghai High Speed Railway, China. Acting as the aorta of the billion-person nation, this 819-mile-long railway connects the northern political power with the eastern economic prosperity. The visual highlight lies in the moment the train crosses two great mother rivers, contrasting completely with the tiny boats drifting slowly below. Sitting by the window, travellers will witness a geographical miracle as the dry yellow-brown colour gradually gives way to the lush green of the river region. With a terrifying speed of 217 miles per hour, the Fuxing trains tear through the wind so fast that the naked eye cannot catch the near scenery. To ensure safety, 87% of the route's length is lifted into the air by a concrete viaduct system, helping the train look like it is flying just above the ground. This infrastructure feat was erected in just 39 short months, an unimaginable construction speed that forced the world's construction history to be rewritten. Shanghai Maglev, China. Completely different from all types of trains, this wheelless vehicle is the only high-speed commercial magnetic levitation line in the world. When cornering, the concrete guideway tilts sharply, pressing the passenger's body into the seat, creating a sensation just like sitting on a banking jet aircraft. It possesses a terrifying speed of 268 miles per hour, far exceeding the speed limit of any sports supercar ever built. The secret lies in the massive magnetic force that lifts the entire train weighing hundreds of tons, hovering exactly zero point 0.4 inches above the concrete surface. At that speed, the scenery outside is stretched into blurry streaks of colour, creating the illusion that you are activating hyperspace mode in a sci-fi movie. This power helps compress a 19-mile distance into just 7 minutes and 20 seconds, turning this journey into an instant teleportation. South-North Water Transfer Project, China. More than just a canal, this is a testament to human power when daring to redraw the river map and control the lifeblood of an entire continent. To overcome rugged terrain, beastly pumping stations were built to push billions of cubic feet of water uphill to the high northern regions. Giant concrete aqueducts carry clean water gliding proudly through the sky, crossing deep valleys. The ultimate challenge lies in tunnels drilled 98 feet beneath natural riverbeds, where clear and muddy water flow on top of each other without mixing. With an $80 billion budget, this work has surpassed all irrigation records to become life insurance for hundreds of millions of people. Artificial order is established by 5-story high steel gates, guarding and regulating the breadth of water flowing throughout the 10,000-mile journey. Grand Canal, China. Not just a path on water, this ancient blue dragon is a giant anthropological museum that has been flowing for millennia in the heart of the country. Dotting the flow are thousands of unique stone bridges, from circular arches like the moon to solid stone slabs exquisitely carved. The architecture here is strangely unique, as mossy tiled roofs sit right at the water's edge, creating a poetic world of busy wharves and boats. The secret of the flow lies in an intelligent lock system invented thousands of years ago, helping ships easily climb slopes through rugged terrain. Its magnificence was honoured by UNESCO as a heritage of humanity, a rare hydraulic work still bustling with life after centuries. When sunset dissolves into the water, the light from ancient streets blends with weeping willow shadows, weaving a vivid and deep ink wash painting. Three Gorges Shiplift, China. Like a gateway to the future, this largest elevator on the planet has turned a fierce river into an overwhelming aerial highway. Here, giant 394-foot-long steel basins quietly rise from the riverbed, carrying cruise ships gliding between clouds and cliffs. Instead of cables, the system uses giant steel racks to secure the 34 million pound mass of the elevator, ensuring absolute safety in all situations. Thanks to miraculous physical laws, the elevator's weight is always kept balanced whether a large or small ship enters, making the operation unbelievably smooth. To reduce the load on the motors, extremely heavy concrete counterweights were meticulously calculated to compensate for the weight of over 3,000 adult elephants. The experience of standing on the ship's side and seeing the riverbed gradually sink beneath your feet is the brightest testament to humans completely conquering nature. Raffles City, Chongqing, China. Standing proudly at the intersection of two major waters, this project redefines living space by placing an entire horizontal city atop skyscraper peaks. With a massive floor area of over 11 million square feet, this place is a self-contained oasis allowing you to enjoy life for an entire month without touching the ground. Protecting the inner garden are 3,000 special glass panels capable of absolute ultraviolet blocking, keeping the cloud ecosystem green and cool against harsh sunlight. The magic lies in the suspended tropical forest, where humans brought over 120 large tree species to a height of 820 feet to create a natural breath amidst concrete. Here, you will experience walking in the void on a 164-foot long infinity pool, watching the boundary dividing the two watercolours of the river below. Every time the city lights up, 8 giant sails glow thanks to the smart LED system, weaving an overwhelming sci-fi picture in the night sky. Shanghai World Financial Center, China. Soaring straight into the sky like a futuristic masterpiece, this crystal tower challenges every gaze with its proud, giant bottle opener shape. Once interrupted by a financial crisis, it took 11 years of persistence for this steel symbol to complete and reach a height of 1,614 feet. The abnormality lies in the hollow design at the top, an intelligent aerodynamic solution that neutralizes the devastating power of hurricanes. Here, you can experience the feeling of waking up among the clouds in a luxury hotel located from the 79th to the 93rd floor of the building. As sunset dissolves into darkness, the sharp, beveled lines glow under the lights, transforming the famous architecture into a powerful financial icon. Standing in the floating glass corridor, the boundary between life and the air is just a layer of crystal where you see the whole city shrinking beneath your heels. Jin Mao Tower, China. Stepping out of modern epics, this pagoda-shaped tower challenges all limits by bringing the soul of an ancient temple to a height of 1,381 feet. To keep the 88-storey steel mass from tilting, 1,062 steel piles were driven 262 feet deep into the ground like solid roots. The most lethal experience here is the outdoor skywalk challenge without handrails, where the boundary between you and the air is just a safety harness. Looking deep into the building, the 499-foot high hollow atrium appears as a magnificent labyrinth of light, deceiving all senses of space. Amidst cold glass skyscrapers, this glowing golden pagoda still stands as a testament to culture soaring alongside technology. Port of Shanghai, China. Far beyond any ordinary port, this mega entity is a great commercial machine coordinating the economic pulse of the entire planet. The most magical landscape appears with millions of colourful steel blocks stacked together, weaving a geometric art piece stretching to the horizon. Crossing the wide ocean, the 20-mile-long bridge stands tall like an invisible thread, tying the mainland's lifeline to the sea. To master the ocean's depth, humans created a technological oasis 20 miles off the coast, where the world's largest ships can dock safely. The efficiency here reaches an astonishing level as every 2 seconds a container is successfully unloaded, maintaining an uninterrupted flow of goods. Amidst the crane forest glowing at night, thousands of autonomous robot vehicles move silently, turning this place into a future city with absolutely no people. Huangchuan Glass Bridge, China. Huangchuan Glass Bridge is recognised as the longest glass bridge in the world, stretching about 1,726 feet across a karst gorge in Guangdong. Because the karst base includes porous clay layers, engineers installed deep anchoring systems and complex diagonal wind-resistant cables to keep the structure stable during strong storms. Beneath and along the span, visitors can take part in bungee jumps or ride a zip line across the canyon, turning the bridge into a centre for extreme activities. The transparent surface can cause spatial disorientation, and some visitors feel a sensation of free fall that may trigger panic reactions. Juge Bridge, China. Juge Bridge marked a new era as the first roadway structure in history to rise more than 500 metres above the ground, crossing a deep canyon in southwestern China. Thick cloud layers often fill the valley, making the massive steel structure appear suspended in mid-air. The main cable system uses high-strength steel to resist strong winds at extreme height, while solid concrete anchor pylons are built to withstand seismic stress in the region. Its central span of about 2,360 feet hangs above an immense drop where a free-falling object takes more than 10 seconds to reach the river below. During construction, engineers repeatedly adjusted tower positions to avoid hidden karst caves and large voids inside the limestone foundation. After completion, a mountain journey that once required 4 to 5 hours was reduced to about 1 hour, and the canyon crossing itself now takes only minutes. Pingtang Bridge, China. Pingtang Bridge stands out with a main tower rising about 1,089 feet, making it the tallest freestanding concrete structure ever built on a bridge. After completion, a journey that once required more than 2.5 hours through mountain roads was reduced to about 1 hour of driving. Structurally, the bridge features two consecutive main spans of roughly 1,804 feet each, forming a rare double span cable stayed design in rugged terrain. The site is known for dense fog, where visibility can drop from about zero point 0.6 miles to less than 16 feet in under 60 seconds while vehicles move at highway speed. During summer, moisture rising from the river creates thick cloud layers that conceal the lower structure and tower bases. The bridge also uses vibration dampers and real-time wind monitoring systems to maintain stability against strong high altitude oscillations. Yachi River Bridge, China. Yachi River Bridge spans a narrow limestone gorge along a mountainous expressway where crosswinds are compressed between steep cliffs. The cable stayed system includes 192 heavy duty steel cables, each carrying an average load of about 40 tonnes to support the deck above the deep valley. The final closure of the span depended entirely on natural temperature, and engineers tightened the bolts only when the air reached about 64 degrees Fahrenheit, so steel expansion aligned precisely. As wind is forced through the tight canyon, its speed increases sharply and can cause heavy trucks to sway across the suspended structure. Dense fog can reduce visibility from bright sunlight to complete whiteout in about 1 second, making drivers lose sight of vehicles ahead, beside a steep canyon drop. To complete the bridge, in layered mountainous terrain, contractors used about 62,000 tonnes of concrete and 800,000 large bolts to secure the steel connections. Qingshui River Bridge, China. Qingshui River Bridge stands on unstable or karst limestone terrain, where porous mountain slopes remain vulnerable to cracking and subsidence. Before the bridge was built, travellers had to descend to the canyon floor and climb back up the opposite cliff, a journey that consumed hours despite the short, visible distance. Far below, the turquoise Qingshui River winds through an almost untouched valley, creating a strong contrast with a massive silver grey steel structure above. With a main span of about 3,708 feet, it is one of the few super long suspension bridges constructed across a deep mountain canyon rather than over a sea strait or wide river mouth. Its extreme height has also made it a well-known but risky base jumping site, where athletes face unpredictable canyon winds and intense mental pressure in open air. During the rainy season, rockfall from fragile karst slopes near both its approaches remains a constant threat to vehicles entering the bridge. Liziba Station, China. In Chongqing, where steep hills make the city feel stacked in three-dimensional layers and buildable land is running out, people were forced to find solutions that few other cities would even try. The turning point came in 1998 when the plan for Line 2 and an apartment project collided at the exact same spot. So instead of removing one of them, engineers chose to merge both into a single design. Because the train had to pass through a place where people were living, the system was built to stay very quiet, with air-filled rubber tyres and special shock control, so the noise is only as loud as a dishwasher. That is why, from the street below, the sight of a train rushing through the air and then diving into the middle of a 19-storey building feels like a science fiction scene dropped into real life. Even more surprising, the station and the tracks take over the 6th to the 8th floor, while the levels above and below still remain normal homes where people live their daily lives. Laziba is not only an urban wonder, but also proof that when an obstacle is too large to go around, people can still calmly create a way through it. Chengdu Science Fiction Museum, China. From a distance, the Chengdu Science Fiction Museum looks like a giant spacecraft touching down on the water, making the whole building feel as if it is drifting out of the future. On the outside, its flowing skin was shaped to catch wind from the lake, creating natural ventilation and reducing the need for large air conditioning systems. The metal dome was also planned to match the path of the sun and fitted with solar panels, so this spacecraft can produce part of its own power for lighting. Opened in 2023 and designed by Zaha Hadid Architects, this complex of about 635,000 square feet is not only a museum, but also includes a theatre, exhibition spaces, and a conference centre. At the centre is a giant skylight that pulls in natural light and helps cut about 30% of daytime lighting power. Set in a city with more than 4,000 years of history, this museum feels like a time gate carrying humanity straight from the past into the year 3000. Harbin Opera House, China. Like a snow mountain rising from frozen land, this building, completed in 2015, quickly became the soul of a UNESCO City of Music. At the top, a glass skylight with a crystal-like steel frame spreads daylight into the main lobby, making the inside shine as if snow were falling through the air. In a place where winter can fall to 40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, the roof and glass sections even use a special snow handling system that melts snow and sends the water into drains. Wrapped in flowing white aluminum, the Opera House looks as if wind and water shaped ice into architecture, and in snowy months, it almost disappears into the landscape. In the smaller theatre, a huge glass wall behind the stage lets the audience watch a performance while still seeing the natural world outside as part of the scene. Even more unusual, both ticket holders and casual visitors can follow carved exterior paths up to the top, where the view opens wide like the summit of a man-made snow hill. Taoji Yinyuan Agora Garden, Taiwan. In the middle of a forest of concrete, this 21-story tower rises like a giant strand of DNA, making the whole building look like a living creature breathing inside the city. Even more unusual, its green coverage reaches about 192% of the original site area, so from far away, it looks like a mountain of plants growing straight into the sky. At the centre is a large, hollow core that pulls daylight and natural wind deep inside, while the roof also uses solar panels and a rainwater collection system to reduce energy use. Vincent Calabau designed each floor to turn 4.5 degrees, so the whole tower twists a full 90 degrees and keeps changing shape from every angle. Because of those step balconies, about 23,000 trees and shrubs cover the outside, turning it into a vertical forest that can absorb about 143 tonnes of carbon dioxide each year. Taoju Yinyuan is not only a luxury home, but also a clear statement that tall buildings can still live with nature as part of the future. China Zun. Among the glass towers of Beijing, China Zun rises about 1,732 feet high, like a giant ancient vessel pulled straight into the clouds, changing the whole feeling of the skyline around it. The most surprising part is that its top spreads about 82 feet wider than its narrowest waist, making it look like a giant crown floating in the air. To keep a structure weighing about 386,000 tonnes from breaking when the ground shakes, the tower uses a huge concrete core in the middle, together with strong steel columns around it so it can stay both firm and flexible. The whole project cost about $3.5 billion US, and its shape comes from an old wine vessel with a wide base, a narrow middle, and a top that opens out again. Even more astonishing, it is also the only super tall building above 1,640 feet, standing in an area with intensity 8 earthquake risk. Datong Panda Power Plant. Seen from above, Datong Panda Power Plant looks like two giant green pandas smiling and waving among rolling hills. It is the world's first solar power plant, built entirely in the image of an animal to share an environmental message. Inside the site, there is also an education centre where young people can see tens of thousands of panels turning sunlight into clean electricity. This project works with the United Nations, turning a dry power plant into a friendly ambassador for renewable energy. The black fur is made from monocrystalline silicon panels, while the white parts use thin film panels, making the 248-acre image sparkle under the sun. The panda shape is not only for attention, but also turns clean energy into a memorable, friendly, and inspiring message for the future. Nampu Bridge. Inside crowded Shanghai, Nampu Bridge curls like a giant concrete dragon, using a spiral approach instead of a long ramp that would have taken too much land. Each day, the bridge carries about 120,000 vehicles, turning that spiral into a huge stream of traffic that never stops moving. The main span rises about 151 feet above the water, high enough for ships weighing 55,000 tonnes to pass below without being blocked. The spiral is about 1,388 feet wide, carrying cars through several layers of space before suddenly pushing them onto the main bridge. This project, costing about $820 million US, was finished in only 3 years and became a major mark of modern bridge engineering. When night falls, the spiral road and bridge cables light up together, turning Nampu Bridge into a floating maze of light inside a future-like city. Xining Railway Station. Standing at the gateway to a mysterious highland region, Xining Railway Station is the true starting point for the journey to conquer the highest railway on Earth. The station works like a giant transfer hub where people and goods begin moving into a high, distant and harsh land. Outside, thousands of reflective glass panels catch the sharp sunlight, making the whole structure shine like a giant diamond on the plateau. At about 7,200 feet above sea level, this place feels like an airport on the ground, preparing special trains to enter air that keeps getting thinner. The trains leaving the station are sealed like aircraft bodies to keep pressure and oxygen stable, helping passengers feel less dizzy as the altitude rises. With 9 platforms and 21 tracks, this project shows the amazing scale of a railway station built at such a great height. Tianjin Binhai Library. Seen through its giant glass wall, Tianjin Binhai Library looks like a huge white eye watching the world. The most shocking detail is that many book spines on the upper levels are only images printed on aluminum, creating the illusion of an endless sea of knowledge. The white sphere at the centre is called the eye, while the curved shelves around it look like a giant eye socket holding the light. By design, the library can hold up to 1.2 million books, enough to turn the space into a vast ocean of knowledge inside the city. Instead of stiff bookshelves, the walls bend into soft, flowing curves, where shelves also become stairs and reading seats. Tianjin Binhai Library is therefore not only a place to read, but a visual stage where light, curves, and knowledge create a world of their own. The giant egg. Like a giant silver egg floating in a lake, the giant egg looks like a spacecraft that has just landed in the middle of an ancient city. To enter, you must walk through an underwater glass tunnel about 262 feet long, where light passing through the lake makes it feel like an underground palace. Inside are 3 separate performance halls, carefully shaped so more than 5,000 spectators can still feel every sound clearly. Its dome, about 696 feet long, took 6 years to build and is covered with 18,000 titanium panels and 1,200 strong glass panels, without needing support columns. The surrounding lake, covering more than 376,000 square feet, works like a giant mirror, joining the reflection and the dome into one perfect oval. The giant egg is not only a theatre, but a bright collision of art, water, light, and the future. But Lisa, Soho. Rising like a crystal vortex in the sky, Lisa, Soho carries the late signature of Zaha Hadid, with curves that seem to escape gravity. On the 13th, 24th, 35th and 45th floors, glass bridges connect the two tower halves, making anyone crossing them feel suspended above a deep canyon of light. The double glass skin around the tower blocks much of the sun's heat, while still letting about 70% of natural light pour inside. In fact, the building is made of two separate tower parts that twist 45 degrees as they rise, then sit inside one giant glass shell. The hollow space in the middle is the atrium, rising about 637 feet, large enough to swallow an entire 50-story building inside it. When night falls, the twisted core glows like a giant energy column, turning Lisa, Soho into a mesmerising symbol of the future. Sheraton Huzhu. Like a giant silver horseshoe rising beside the water, Sheraton Huzhu stands about 333 feet tall with 27 floors, completely breaking the familiar image of a box-shaped hotel. To create this bold structure, about $1.5 billion was spent, making it one of the most luxurious and expensive hotels ever built. Although the two ends of the horseshoe seem separate above the lake, they are actually connected by a two-level underground tunnel beneath the water. When the lake is calm, the reflection joins with the real building to form a perfect number 8, suggesting luck, eternity, and prosperity. Its shape was inspired by ancient stone bridges reflected in water and the soft feeling of traditional ink paintings. When night falls, more than 19,000 LED lights make the whole outer shell glow, turning the hotel into a giant light show on the lake. Guangzhou Opera House. Drawing inspiration from the eternal erosion of nature to shed all rigid geometric frameworks, this deconstructivist masterpiece is the most spectacular architectural legacy of the legendary female architect Zaha Hadid. Looking from the outside, the overall shape of the structure carries a perfect positional mindset as it transforms into two giant pebbles lying quietly on the bank after being washed up by the mighty river. However, the real magic unfolds on the inside, as travellers will instantly be swept into an endlessly winding champagne yellow canyon, perfectly recreating the overwhelming illusion of the primeval era. To materialise that complex and organic hollow arch structure, engineers had to solve an impossible construction puzzle by hand, casting thousands of completely unique glass fibre reinforced plaster blocks. This asymmetric winding was once considered a disastrous acoustic risk, but the 1,800-seat auditorium still creates a physical miracle with an exact standard reverberation of 2 seconds, thanks to a magically calculated sound diffusion groove system. The ultimate experience concludes when you look up at the ceiling, sparkling like a galaxy, quietly feeling your own smallness before an artistic universe that is both vast and exquisite. Tianzi Hotel, draping itself in the mesmerizing veil of three majestic Eastern deities, this bizarre accommodation machine is a masterpiece that cleverly deceives all eyes. Pilgrims come here not caring for worldly luxuries, only embracing the desire to fall asleep inside the gods to receive absolute prosperity. The most spectacular highlight of the structure is a luxurious retreat completely hidden inside a holy peach, floating amidst the clouds. For this 136-foot tall sculpture to proudly defy all aerodynamic laws and hurricanes, a great foundation system was deeply rooted into the earth. The journey crossing the mortal boundary is also full of mystery, as the only guiding door lies humbly under the right heel of the holy figure. Despite proudly wearing the Guinness World Record crown, this surreal structure remains a stubborn low note, challenging all aesthetic standards of humanity. Gate of the Orient. Like a curving stroke breaking the rigidity of countless concrete boxes around, this tower is a globally shocking architectural phenomenon. Although bearing a majestic arch design, netizens humorously called it the giant long johns, inadvertently turning the structure into an immortal cultural icon. When the lake is calm, this great structure casts a shadow on the water, forming a beautiful number 8, carrying a profound meaning of infinity and peace. The giant empty space in the middle is not just for beauty, but also a perfect aerodynamic pressure relief valve, helping the entire building stand firm against hurricane winds. To secure this machine, people had to use up to 132,277 short tons of load bearing steel, a mass more than enough to cast 16 Eiffel Towers. Overcoming all satire, this gate is a powerful declaration of being ready to integrate with the world while never losing its cultural roots. Coyote Bridge. Serving as the heart of a complex traffic network, this super arch bridge is a proud masterpiece of modern engineering. When night falls, the lighting system instantly turns the steel frame into a gorgeous fiery crown floating on the dark river. Even during the day, the dark red paint of the structure shines with authority like a giant silk ribbon tearing through the grey fog. Crossing the fierce water with an arch span of 1,811 feet, this great structure proudly stands without using any pillars in the middle of the stream. This machine consumed up to 50,706 short tons of high-strength steel, a massive weight equivalent to melting down 6 Eiffel Towers to cast. The experience of hearing the train roaring through its metal chest will definitely bring a breathtaking feeling, just like a science fiction movie. Yaxi Expressway, China. Located in the rugged mountain and fault zone of Sichuan, the 149-mile Yaxi Expressway climbs from 1,969 feet to 7,874 feet through a route filled with steep slopes and sharp curves. To keep the gradient safe for traffic, engineers built 270 viaducts and 25 tunnels, causing more than half of the highway to remain elevated or pass directly through mountains. Some bridge pillars rise directly from deep valleys, with the tallest reaching about 599 feet, allowing the roadway to maintain stable elevation across heavily fractured terrain. One of the most dramatic moments happens when vehicles leave a dark tunnel and suddenly emerge onto a bright snow-covered plateau, revealing an abrupt shift in landscape and climate. Under the evening light, the long elevated bridges cast massive shadows across the valleys, turning Yaxi into a large-scale infrastructure system that clearly demonstrates how modern engineering can overcome mountains, deep gorges, and geological risk. Chengdu, SKP Park, China. Challenging the usual logic of megacities, this architectural project hides 99% of its commercial space 98 feet underground. When night falls, 6 giant water towers glow with neon colours through flowing water, turning the park into a powerful, futuristic scene. Across the green roof of this underground complex, curved glass domes rise from the grass like crystal eyes looking toward the sky. Beneath an ecological surface of more than 2,045,143 square feet, strong structural pillars support soil, plants, and public green space above the commercial world below. Instead of building upward to dominate the skyline, this futuristic design hides luxury underground and gives the open sky back to nature. Oppo R&D Center in Chang'an, China. Like a giant space station landing in a valley, this massive glass and steel complex reflects the sky so strongly that parts of it seem to disappear in the air. When darkness falls, neon light strips turn the complex into a futuristic matrix with the glowing, suspended ring above acting like a mechanical eye. To support this elevated cloud ring, engineers use a powerful crisscrossing steel frame system designed to handle weight, wind, and seismic movement. Inside the 820-foot central tower, the minimalist space and long light lines create a floating sensation, almost like moving through a quiet spacecraft. This futuristic superstructure shows how corporate technology architecture can combine research, engineering, and nature into one powerful vision of the future. Guanyin of Mount Shiqiao, China. Among misty forested mountains, this 249-foot Guanyin appears like a giant golden statue, sitting quietly on an extinct volcano that formed tens of millions of years ago. To come closer to this symbol of compassion and wisdom, visitors must climb hundreds of steep stone steps, like a journey that trains patience before reaching inner peace. From above, the area around the statue is arranged in concentric circles like a giant mandala, making the wild mountains and spiritual order seem to merge together. The statue stands about 1,115 feet above sea level, where mist and clean air make the golden bronze colour feel even more peaceful among the green mountains. When completed in 1998, it was once considered the tallest seated bronze Guanyin statue in the world, marking the ambition to create a giant spiritual symbol in nature. Grand Lisboa Hotel, China. Like a futuristic golden sword cutting into the sky, this 856-foot tower rises from the dense city around it, creating an unforgettable visual shock. After night rain, the wet streets turn into black mirrors, reflecting the neon tower like a river of molten gold. To support its unusual top-heavy shape, deep steel piles anchor the structure through soft coastal ground into stronger layers below. Its reflective golden glass and aerodynamic form help the tower face strong sea winds and typhoon conditions in a harsh coastal climate. This mechanical lotus above Macau stands as a powerful symbol of luxury, risk, and human ambition pushed into the shape of architecture. Emperors Yan and Huang, China. From the giant cliff, the two stone faces of Emperors Yan and Huang rears 348 feet high, like two ancestors waking up and silently watching the flow of Chinese history. When the 10-foot wide stone eyes look into the distance and the yellow river rolls below, the scene feels as if the origin of a civilization is still being guarded. In front of the monument is a square covering more than 1,614,000 square feet, large enough for over 30,000 people turning the whole space into a vast and solemn ceremonial axis. Each nose is 26 feet long, as large as a 3-story building, making anyone below the mountain feel tiny before even one facial detail carved in stone. The 23-foot ears were also designed with a careful angle so rainwater would not collect, showing that this monument is not only powerful in meaning, but also built to resist the erosion of time. Tears, Shan Monastery, Hong Kong. Between Green Mountains and the wide sea, the 249-foot Guan Yin statue rises like a giant white figure, not crushing the landscape but making the whole space feel deeper and quieter. The piece here is protected by limiting visitors to about 400 to 500 people each day, banning incense and replacing smoke with a slow water offering ritual that helps calm the mind. From this symbol, the monastery opens like a modern Buddhist work with an ancient spirit, using simple Tang-style architecture, premium materials, and a cost of about $190 million. Few people expect that beneath the statue stands an underground Buddhist art museum, keeping hundreds of precious objects from the 2nd century to the modern age. Even the height of the statue was carefully planned. Tall enough to be seen from far away, but still balanced with the mountains, the buildings, and the sea. Venetian Macau, China. This 10,548,633 square foot artificial universe seems to bend the boundary between ocean and land, large enough to hold 90 giant airplanes inside. When you look up, your mind is fooled by an optical sky that stays forever in a perfect sunset. To hold this massive structure, steel piles were driven about 197 feet into the old seabed, helping it stand against powerful coastal storms. In its 548,959 square foot central gaming area, open sightlines allow cameras to watch huge crowds at the same time. Even with thousands of people inside, folded ceilings and thick carpets absorb the noise, creating a strange quietness inside this giant machine of luxury. Spring Temple Buddha, China. Appearing as a blinding gold-plated metal block among the mountains, this megaproject seems to steal the sky and crush the human sense of space. The path to the pedestal becomes a harsh physical trial, forcing visitors to climb thousands of steep stone steps carved through the wild hillside. Its massive weight presses so hard into the mountain that engineers had to pour thousands of tons of reinforced concrete underground to prevent cracking and sinking. Rising 682 feet into the air, the statue also becomes a giant lightning rod, taking powerful strikes during violent storms. Beneath the religious surface, this project also carries the feeling of a display of power, started soon after other Buddha statues were destroyed in 2001. Leshan Giant Buddha, China. Like a being waking from a red sandstone cliff, this 233-foot Leshan Giant Buddha appears with majesty where three fierce rivers meet. As people follow the steep paths down toward the Buddha's feet, the contrast becomes overwhelming. Between the glowing red stone, the deep green forest, and the rushing water below. The secret that has helped the great statue survive for more than 1,300 years lies in 1,021 stone hairbuns and a hidden drainage system behind the ears and robe folds. This is the tallest stone Buddha statue in the world, carved directly into the mountain cliff, making the whole mountain feel like the body of a giant spiritual work. From far away, the surrounding mountain range also looks like a giant sleeping Buddha, while the Leshan Giant Buddha sits exactly at the heart of that shape. Guishan Guanyin, China. Trampling over natural vegetation? Chen. This 325-foot gold-plated religious machine shows its power with 11 cold faces rising straight into the sky. From every angle in the valley, people seem to be watched by soulless metal eyes before the many arms fall across the square as chilling crossed shadows at dusk. Those raised arms also turn the statue into a massive lightning rod, taking direct strikes whenever storms sweep through the mountains. Under the sun, 661 tons of copper inside the statue expand and contract, making cracking sounds while reflecting heat downward like a suffocating oven. To keep this golden illusion alive, Workers must risk their lives on hanging cables 325 feet above the ground, washing away dust and time from the deity's surface. Grand Buddha at Lingshan, China. Presenting itself as a defiant giant 289 feet tall, this bronze statue completely swallows the sky and forces viewers to feel an overwhelming sense of smallness. Before reaching the base, pilgrims must exhaust themselves climbing 216 steep stone steps, rising sharply into the air. Standing fully exposed on a hilltop, the massive structure also becomes a giant lightning rod, repeatedly enduring lightning strikes carrying millions of volts. The shell, made from 772 tons of pure copper, is slowly being eaten away by acid rain and time, losing its shine and turning into a cold grey-green mechanical form. Behind its quiet religious image, this entire megaproject ultimately operates like a commercial machine designed to draw in and profit from millions of curious visitors. Guanyin of Nanshan, China. Rising imposingly from the ocean at a height of 354 feet, this massive architectural block destroyed the pristine coral ecosystem below to support an inorganic artificial island. The journey toward the giant becomes a harsh physical experience as visitors slowly cross a 919-foot bridge, fully exposed to tropical heat, salty wind and open sea. The three enormous faces do not create a feeling of protection, but instead form a suffocating visual presence watching over every tiny figure beneath them. The expansion of the giant foundation permanently disrupted the natural ocean currents, causing erosion and reshaping the coastline around it. Despite its appearance as an ancient sacred monument, this project, completed in 2005, ultimately operates like a modern commercial machine using faith to attract and profit from millions of curious visitors. Bronze statue of Dezong, China. Rejecting the harmony of nature, this massive bronze statue, 509 feet tall, cuts into the sky like a cold blade, completely stealing the horizon. To approach the giant, visitors must endure a harsh physical trial, climbing hundreds of burning stone steps until every breath feels heavy. To To stop more than 1,213 tonnes of metal from crushing and destabilising the mountainside, engineers had to drill deep and force thousands of concrete blocks into the core of the peak. Standing exposed at high altitude, this huge mass becomes a brutal lightning rod, repeatedly taking direct strikes from violent storms. Even more terrifying when thunderstorms arrive. Wind moving through the hollow steel core creates chilling roars like cries echoing from the underworld. Chengdu Silicon Cube, China. Breaking away from conventional architecture, this razor-sharp cube rises above a calm artificial lake, where mirrored glass reflects the sky and makes the structure appear almost unreal. At night, millions of blue and violet LED lights illuminate the transparent facade, transforming the building into a giant cyberpunk-style computing core glowing through the darkness. Some of the hardware is submerged inside special dielectric cooling liquid, allowing the supercomputer to maintain stable performance while processing up to 1 quintillion calculations every second. Standing before this enormous machine of glass, light, data, and energy, visitors can clearly feel how modern engineering is pushing computing technology toward a scale once imagined only in science fiction. Zhoushan Island's Link project. Began construction in 1999 and was completed in 2009, integrating cable-stayed suspension and box girder bridges to adapt to the demanding conditions of coastal terrain and climate. The deck, 25 metres wide, supports 4 lanes of two-way traffic and includes emergency lanes to ensure uninterrupted movement. Recognised for its magnitude and influence, Zhoushan Island's Link project stands as one of the world's most advanced and striking sea-crossing bridge networks. Lhasa Ningxi High-Speed Railway operates improved fuxing trains capable of running steadily at an average altitude of over 9,840 feet, reducing travel time between the two cities from more than 5 hours to about 3.5 hours. The line crosses 47 tunnels and 121 bridges, including long spans over icy rivers and tunnels through snow-covered mountains year-round, showcasing advanced railway engineering in harsh environments. The railway also uses track systems designed to withstand low temperatures and air pressure, ensuring high safety and precision for every journey. Qinghai Tibet Railway is the highest railway in the world, with its Tangula Pass section climbing to 16,640 feet, engineered for dependable operation in thin air conditions and intense cold. Spanning 1,216 miles from Xining in Qinghai province to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, the route traverses areas averaging over 13,123 feet above sea level. More than 342 miles of the railway runs across permafrost zones safeguarded by insulation and drainage innovations to prevent seasonal ground deformation. Riding this railway provides both a crucial transport link and sweeping views of the Tibetan Plateau's expansive grasslands and surrounding snowy peaks.